Am I the arsehole? For asking a student midwife to leave my appointment and denying her a learning opportunity? I F32 am currently 37 weeks pregnant, and was at my obstetrics appointment yesterday with my husband M33. This is our first child, and I have been quite lucky so far with the pregnancy, but I have been having some unaccounted for pain which is making me quite concerned. I went to the ER 4 days ago, and the doctor on call checked me out and told me it was safe to go home but that I should bring it up at my routine appointment seeing as it was so soon yesterday. Obviously this has my husband and I quite nervous, so I was hoping for some answers when we saw the obstetrician. When I walked into my appointment with my husband, it was the usual Dr. F40s, as well as a younger girl F20s who I had not met before. The younger girl was introduced as a trainee midwife who would be listening in on the appointment. I didn't have an issue with this, although it would have been nice to have been asked rather than having this sprung on us. Never mind, the appointment carried on. The student midwife was not at all confident in what she was doing. It was clear that I was one of the first patients she had seen and she was very shaky and shy. Again, no issues, we all need to learn somehow. My actual issue arose when I was describing the pain to the doctor and the fact it feels like I can't breathe when it hits. The student midwife started laughing when I said that, but the doctor gave her a stern look and she stopped. Then as I carried on with my description and an overview of what happened in the ER, the student midwife said almost to herself, "I have never seen a stillbirth before." I say almost to herself because it seemed to come out of her mouth unconsciously and almost as if she was thinking it and didn't realize she had said it, but I got very upset. I looked the student midwife right in the eyes and told her to get out. She looked like a deer in headlights, but I stood up and told the doctor that one of us was leaving and if it wasn't going to be the midwife, then it would be me. My doctor asked the midwife if she could please leave the room, and she was quite apologetic with me but told me to be understanding because the student midwife was still young and learning. My husband supported me and told the doctor that we do not want to see the student midwife again. The rest of the appointment carried on like normal, but I called my mom F67 in tears when we were in the car. I felt like I had held it together in the hospital, but I just wanted to vent to my mom. She shocked me, though, by saying that I had been unfair to the student midwife and that she needed these learning opportunities so that she could develop a bedside manner. Now I feel a little bad about my reaction, and am wondering if I was not the asshole. You didn't even deny her a learning opportunity. She learned the hard way that her patients are human beings with feelings and emotions, and that she should treat them as such. Jesus, not the asshole. Why didn't the obgyn kick her out after she laughed at your symptoms? Then implying that your baby was going to die? You probably could have decked the girl and you still wouldn't be the asshole. If anything, you taught her a great lesson. Maybe she should look into a different line of work. Not the asshole, this is her learning experience. She'll now be very, very careful about what words she utters when dealing with patients. This is her lesson for the rest of her career. Not the asshole at all. I'm very disappointed that your regular doctor didn't throw that student out. That was an absolutely disgusting thing for her to say. Not the asshole at all, she should have learned the appropriate bedside manner before coming into your appointment. Your obgyn is also partly the as. 1. She should have briefed the student before your appointment and explained what is appropriate. 2. She should have asked for your permission before allowing the student to stay. Edit grammar. If she doesn't know not to say that at this point, I'm not convinced she'll ever have any bedside manner to speak of. There's inexperience and then there's rank stupidity and selfishness. Not glad your husband said to keep her away from you. Not the asshole 1 billion. She laughed about a stillbirth in a professional setting in front of a pregnant woman who was describing a pregnancy complication that has her worried. Who would ever call you TA? I'm also 10,000 sure you have helped improve her bedside manner by asking her to leave. I don't think she will ever do it again. Being young is no excuse for being awful. I'm sorry this happened op. Good luck with the rest of your pregnancy and birth. Not the asshole. If she can't shut her trap, she is not entitled to learning opportunities. Having tact is also a part of her training, and until she learns it, she needn't be in any appointments. Edit to clarify. Not the asshole. Of course a student midwife needs to learn. Among other things they need to learn is how to behave in front of a patient. I hope you're okay. Not the asshole. I'd be horrified if someone I was supervising said something so awful. That's the type of comment I'd report to their educational program. If it's a one-off they may get cautioned, but if it's a pattern they're not suited to healthcare. Hope everything is okay with you and your baby, and good luck with the birth and parenthood X. Not the asshole. Students need opportunities to learn. That's not at the expense of your comfort. Not the asshole. This actually tells me that she isn't fit to work as an OB, should be in another part of the hospital training if she thinks pregnancy pain is funny, or that allowing thoughts like that to even pop in by simply hearing about pain shows her mindset while learning, but would be suited to other parts of hospital where it's viable for her to understand someone's pain. Keep her thoughts to herself. This is a learning day. She won't forget. A good learner. She learned about what not to do. That apologizes, don't change fact or always fix things. Good luck through rest of pregnancy op. Not the asshole. And your mother is being ridiculous. You can't train a bedside manner onto someone who laughs at pain and gets excited by the idea of, well, you know. The doctor owes you an apology for not asking your permission for that student's presence firstly, and secondly for subjecting any patient to someone so callous and unqualified. Honestly, I hope that girl is kicked out of the midwife program. She has the wrong temperament. Not the asshole. You are the patient and your health and comfort are the priority. You were gracious enough to allow her to sit in, even though, like you said, you should have been asked, not told, and she blew her opportunity. You don't owe her a chance to learn. You handle that perfectly, and hopefully she got a stern warning from the doc after you left. Not the asshole. I was getting a pap smear done, and my male doctor waved in several medical students right before we started, and I had no time to protest. I wish I complained, as it was extremely upsetting. Never feel bad advocating for yourself in a medical setting, and especially not after the student midwife said. Hoping you have a safe delivery. Not the asshole. Being asked to leave is the learning opportunity. If she cannot control her inappropriate laughter and comments, she will not get very far in a field that requires complete trust and vulnerability from patients. Having this smoothed over, while you left in tears, is the last thing she needs. And either way, your feelings as the patient receiving care trump those of the trainee in your appointment any day. Not the asshole. And being thrown out of the room for making stupid, insensitive comments is an excellent, time-honored learning opportunity that the student has now experienced. Not the asshole. Unsure how it works in the US, but in the UK anytime I've been seen by a doctor, dentist, midwife and there's been a trainee, the first thing they've done is made an introduction and asked for permission for them to either sit in or conduct the examination. That young lass obviously has a lot more learning to do before they let her in a room with patients. Not the asshole. Yes, she needs to learn. She learned a lesson. And you need to feel comfortable in your appointment. Your actions achieved both. Good on you for sticking up for yourself. Not the asshole. I'm not a midwife or training to be, and I know not to say something like that. It's who she is. She won't be in the field very long. Not the asshole. Highly unprofessional. If she can't filter herself, then maybe she shouldn't be in that line of work. The last thing an already stressed mother-to-be needs is more stress. That kind of behavior is unacceptable for someone in her field. Newbie or not. She isn't a child, she's a fully grown adult. Completely her fault and not yours. Would I be the asshole if I stopped all support now that my sister is pregnant with number 2? My younger sister is yet again pregnant. She is 18 and this will make baby number 2. She is very excited and made a cute announcement party for my parents and me. All three of us were just giving each other hard eye contact the entire time. None of us are happy or think this is a good idea. I'm 99 sure it was planned. She's 4 months in already, so it's a bit too late to be talking about alternative options. Obviously my parents are talking to her about it and next steps. But for me, I don't think I want to be involved with either children anymore. Teen pregnancies suck, but they do happen. For the first one I stayed local for college. I didn't move out, so they had the extra support and income. Heck, I was even working extra hours to help support financially. The first one was a happy little accident, but this second one feels like a massive slap in the face. Mentally, I feel done. I've had enough. They aren't my babies and they were not my choice. My sister's having a hard time as she was expecting everything to continue the same and for us to be a big happy family. My parents have already had a big chat and put their foot down, telling her that she needs to sort herself out and contribute a lot more. She's come to me and told me she thought they would be happy for her and that she doesn't like their attitude. She doesn't even know my opinions yet. I needed some time to collect myself, otherwise I would have thrown a full-on hissy fit at her. But I think I am going to move out. I want to stop giving her money and giving her my time and energy babysitting and picking up the odd jobs that are involved with a baby in the house. Would I be the asshole if I just stopped? They aren't my babies and they were not my choice. Exactly. She's come to me and told me she thought they would be happy for her and that she doesn't like their attitude. Because she is acting entitled. She should be grateful. Your help is a huge favor, not a right. Where is the father? You don't have to take responsibility for her children. Her body, her choice, her life, her responsibility. And the father's. Not the asshole. Oh, I'd really love to have another little baby. It'll be cool. My family will provide for me, money, babysitting, etc. Yes, time for a reality check for this immature mother-to-be. You've done your bit, time for her to accept her responsibilities. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your sister feels entitled to your support, which you don't owe her. She got pregnant, not you, and against probably everything else screaming in her face that it's a bad idea. Your parents put their foot down and now you should as well. Not the asshole. Good heavens, 2 babies at 18 and she thought everyone would just be happy for her? She's in cloud cuckoo land. Not your babies. Not your choice. Not your problem. Perhaps if you step away, she'll realize that she has to step up. Info. What about the baby daddy eyes? What is she doing for a living? What are her plans? Like the heck? Absolutely not the asshole. It was actually very kind from you to even have worked extra hours to support her, taking into account that no matter how much of an accident it was the first time, it had nothing to do with you. I'm afraid she took it for granted, though. Sounds like if her too young brain thought that having a baby is the perfect ticket for getting others' support. It isn't. And again, you have nothing to do with this. It's never a must take responsibility for other people's bad choices. Not the asshole. She needs to learn that having children is a massive responsibility and she can't put the burden on family. It's wonderful that you and parents helped her out the first time, but that doesn't mean you should continue because she chose to get pregnant again. If she needs money, she should take the baby daddy eyes to court to get child support and find a way to get a job. Not your child, not your responsibility, go get your own life. Not the asshole. Where's the man that she keeps letting impregnate her? People like this always wanna fall back on a village, but will never hold the actual father of their children accountable. It's really sad. Good Lord, please move out and have your own life. Not the asshole, not your circus, not your monkeys. If your parents decide to keep financing her, it's their choice, but don't put your life on hold because of her bad decisions. Not the asshole. You're completely right that these aren't your children and aren't your responsibility. If you want to move and no longer pay for children that aren't yours, you have every right to do so. Not the asshole, she is living her life and you need to be living yours. If she can't deal with the children without the support of the family, she shouldn't have planned to have another one. It is crazy, selfish and entitled. Not the asshole. X200B. Run as fast as you can, and if you can't do that, then back your parents' play of insisting she sort herself out and start contributing more. A mantra of I am not your bank, I am not your boyfriend, and I am not your babysitter might well come in handy. X200B. As an aside, why do these people having kids they can't support always expect everyone around them to be happy? Not the asshole. Her kids, her responsibilities. Not the asshole. Regardless of the choices your sibling makes, you have the right to enjoy your own youth and build your own future and family if you so choose. It's not about what you owe her or any obligations you may feel as an aunt. It's about what you owe yourself at this stage in your life. Not the asshole. Don't light yourself on fire to keep your sister warm. Not the asshole. Go live your own life. Your sister made the decision to have children, not you. Don't sacrifice your life for her. Where is the dads? Are they involved, as they should be? That is a responsibility of the parents. Not the asshole. You are a great sister, but this burden is not yours. Live your own life. If you feel compelled to help and have money left over each month to help them, all good. Otherwise, don't feel guilty. This is on your sister and baby daddy. Oh, I think your sister would continue to pop out kiddos as long as she knows she's not going to shoulder it alone. And she's bound to know that this arrangement wasn't going to last forever, and even the best families help but with boundaries as a single mother, and she needs to step up. What is she going to do when she is 30? Expect everyone to put their lives on hold and that you continue to live at home for her sake? Not the asshole. I appreciate that she and the babies are family, however they are not your responsibility to look after. She chose to have these children and therefore she should look after them. Not the asshole. How selfish of her. If the happy little family was her idea, maybe talk with the happy family before getting preggers again. Not the asshole. Her children are her responsibility. Don't let her continue to think that you'll be the one supporting her decisions. I would move out and live the way you want if I were you. You deserve to be happy and do what you want with your life. X200B. Edit grammar. Not the asshole. Her kids, her responsibilities. I am sorry for the kids, but they are not yours. Go live your life. Not the asshole. This is not your responsibility. If she's old enough to be popping kids out, she's old enough to know the repercussions that come along with it, and it makes me wild that people just expect others to handle their mistakes. She's done an adult act. She can deal with the adult responsibilities that come with it. Not the asshole. Your sister clearly got used to the idea that your family would take care of her kids, so having another one wouldn't affect her. It isn't on you to take care of them. She and the baby's father need to figure this out. Not the asshole. Not your mistakes, not your responsibility. Your sister is an adult and needs to take care of her own kids. Go live your life and save your money for things you want. Not how you helped once. Don't stretch yourself thin. Leave and build your life. She has the children and she needs to shoulder the responsibility. They can be happy for her but do not have to give her money. Not the asshole. Because you and your parents help her with first baby, now she just think you will help with second baby too. It not your fault or your parents. Your sister shouldn't try for more baby until she have stable income. If you help this time she will try to have more baby. Not the asshole. Her kids are her responsibility. You shouldn't live taking care of them forever. You have your own life to live. You've done enough at this point. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You've done more than enough already. Am I the asshole for not attending my sister's wedding? My sister is getting married at the end of this month on the same day as my child's first birthday party. My wife scheduled it for this day because it's the only day certain family on her side can come. She also locked this date in before we knew her wedding would be then. My sister and I aren't close, but last year I had a major fallout with my parents and am not on speaking terms with them. My parents have also never met my child. I made a point to sit down with my sister last year while I was having problems with my parents to make sure she knew I didn't have a problem with her. Since then she's still kept me updated about major points in her life. She started dating the guy last September, he proposed in April. I had never met her fiancé when he proposed. I haven't been attending any family gatherings, so in May my sister asked if we could all go out to lunch. The whole thing was pretty normal first meeting type stuff, but otherwise not unpleasant. About halfway through her fiancé got up to go to the restroom, and my sister asked if there was any chance that our parents could meet my child. I said that I didn't want to discuss that at that time. She got very quiet and we tried to move on to other topics. She then asked if we would be going to her wedding. At this point I had already been feeling conflicted about it, because I didn't want to be the cause of any drama at her wedding. My wife said that she was sorry but we had already planned our child's birthday for that day, so it wouldn't work. My sister seemed upset but let it go and we awkwardly finished lunch and left. My wife pointed out that it felt to her like the whole thing was just out of obligation and that it seemed like my sister just wanted to ask those questions and the rest was normal fluff. She also pointed out that my sister basically ignored our child the whole time other than saying how big they've gotten, which is very out of character for her. She loves babies. I felt like I wanted to explain that I don't want to stir the pot and that I don't trust my parents to not do that if I show up, but since she seemed upset I figured I should give her space. The next time I saw my sister and her fiancé was at my youngest sibling's baptism in July. I went by myself since my youngest brother specifically asked me to come, and all they said was "Hi, nice to see you" before walking away. Since then my sister hasn't spoken to me at all, so I feel like I've offended her. I feel like an for not at least trying to go for a little and support her. I've also been trying to decide if I should get them a gift or if that would complicate things. I know I feel guilty any time I find something my parents have given me, and I've even had to make myself get rid of some of the wedding gifts they gave us because I get too many mixed feeling. I don't want to put her in a similar position, but I feel like an for not doing something for them or at least explaining myself. Not the asshole. I am seeing two things here. 1. Your sister had a fantasy that her wedding would lead to some grand reconciliation between you and your parents, and she now sees you as the block to her family being together, so she's distancing herself from you. 2. You sensed that your presence at the wedding could be disruptive and so you declined. That is your right, an invitation is not a summons. Send a nice, heartfelt gift with a note of apology that you won't be able to be there, and enjoy the day with the family you chose. Info: were the family members you're close with aware of the planned party date as well and now caught between deciding which event to go to? It sounds like the party was mainly scheduled around your wife's family with limited regard for your own. Although given the relationship you have with them, sounds like that may have happened anyway. I don't necessarily think you're the but it's worth a conversation with all the family you may have invited that now have to decide between the events. Seems like the collateral damage would more so be on that front than anywhere else and they may have some guilt resentment about choosing. If not for the birthday party, would you want to go to the wedding? You're the asshole. The baby isn't going to know that the date isn't on her birthday. The first birthday party is entirely about the adults. Just move it. Info: did your wife plan the party incredibly early or did your sister send out save the dates or invites late? Aren't save the dates and invites sent out months in advance? Not the asshole. If you go and there's a bunch of drama, your sister will likely blame you for that also. She's going to be mad either way, so just stay with your family and enjoy the birthday party. I would definitely send a gift with a card explaining why though. Maybe she doesn't fully understand that you're trying to protect her from all the drama between you and your parents. Especially if she talks to them a lot, they've probably spun a tale for her. I would love to know the drama with your parents, but that's 'cause I'm nosy. It wouldn't affect my vote. Honestly, not the asshole, and it's kind of bizarre at all these whitey comments because, like, if you go and your parents start something, I'm sure as hell you'll be blamed for that because you tore the family apart. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I know this might be unpopular, but I think not the asshole. You said yourself that your wife chose this date before knowing about your sister's wedding. I think this has more to do with the wedding than the fact that it's your kid's birthday party. I also feel like, based on everything you said, that if you go to this wedding then it might cause a lot of drama considering your relationship with the rest of your family. I think there's a chance your sister thought that you can make peace with the rest of your family if you show up to her wedding, but chances are if you show up then things might go badly and you might get blamed for that. Nata, you literally had a prior obligation. Plus that side of the family seems horrid. Why can't you participate in the wedding and the party? You don't have to be at the party the entire time. Your kid isn't going to notice. Nor care. Why you gotta be estranged with your family? What's the story? Why can't you all talk it out? It's your sister's wedding, bro. Very crazy to miss it over a birthday the baby isn't going to remember. You're the asshole. You are going to regret not going. Reschedule the birthday party. A birthday party does not take precedence over a wedding. I think you are coming up with lots of excuses to not go. Your difficulty with your parents is not a good reason to miss your sister's wedding. And yes, get them a gift regardless. You have very strange rationalizations, to be honest. Your sister is distracted because that is what happens when you're planning a wedding. It's basically all you think about. Not the asshole. Your immediate family is always going to be more important than your extended family. Not the asshole. You're allowed to want to celebrate your child no matter how much they'll remember. Not the asshole, because these whitey votes sort of lack reading comprehension. 1. The birthday party was scheduled before OP was even invited. 2. OP has his own family now. 3. This is my take on the post. He's North Carolina largely due to the behavior of his parents, which will most likely bleed into his sister's wedding and probably be a scapegoat for whatever fallout comes from it. I'd avoid it too. Not the asshole. You get to accept or decline any invitation for any reason. Even without the birthday party conflict, I don't think you would want to go to this wedding. And that's perfectly fine. Just remember that with any decision you make, there will be consequences, whether good or bad. If you can live with those either way, then you have your answer. Going against the grain and voting not the asshole. Why? Because people are focusing on its GUSD his FIRST by RTHDA and totally missing the point that you're North Carolina with your parents and LC with your sister. This isn't about the birthday, it's about the fact that you're choosing not to engage with toxic family members. And apparently, some Redditors take issue with that. You're the asshole. But not for not attending the wedding. I don't know your family situation, and if it is a toxic environment you are right not to attend it. But you are enough for giving all sorts of bullshit reasoning. Kid's birthday, certain members of your wife's family are available only for that particular day, your sister not showing affection to your kids, all are bullshit. None of these are the reason of your not going. Please be honest to yourself. I don't have a good relationship with my family and my wife, and I don't want to attend my sister's wedding. All other info seems unnecessary. Not the asshole. The important part is the ceremony. Arrange to go and hang back until everyone else is seated, then quietly sit at the back or away from your parents, then slip out quietly once the ceremony has finished and go celebrate your child's birthday. Not the asshole. She wants you there so your parents can see your child. That's it. Don't go. Send them a gift.
Am I the asshole? For making my husband sleep in the guest room after he refused to clean up his own vomit? Not the asshole. Obviously. Also, By your calculations, he should be taking on 40 of the housework. He can start by cleaning up his own puke. Bruh, even in a frat house people have to clean up their own puke. Your husband treats you with less respect than I treat my pledges. Not the asshole. And why the heck do you do all the domestic duties when you work and pay 40 of the bills? You should each have an equal amount of free time. Beyond that, he should not be yelling at you. And he should absolutely clean up his own vomit. Not the asshole. I can't stand people who drink irresponsibly. He threw up and he gets to clean it up. Not you. Oh. And also, if he had to work the next day, why the ever-loving fuck would he have friends over and get drunk? I don't know how to clean it up. Bullshit. This is weaponized incompetence if he continues this sober. Anything short of cleaning the hell out of it while apologizing profusely once he sobers up is a big problem. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your husband is TA here. You have every right to feel disrespected. You are asking him to clean up his own mess that he made because he overindulged in a night of drinking. You are not being unreasonable. It is not like he has the flu. If you split bills 60-40, then you should split chores 40-60. Regardless, you are not the asshole. He is acting like a helpless child. He sounds insufferable. Also, is the toilet super far from the sink? How drunk was he that he picked the sink? He needs to control his alcohol intake. Geez, I'm annoyed for you. Not the asshole. He isn't a child, ill or disabled. He can clean up his own vomit. How rude of him to treat you this way. The vomit will sit there until he cleans it. No excuse. Tell him to use smartphone and look it up. Not the asshole. He should clean up his own self-imposed puke. On the division of duties, you should not be doing the bulk or all of the household chores. That should be based on time worked, not income. 60-40 for the chores. Not the asshole. How dare he treat you like that? Also, he sure knew how to get drunk. So now he can sure learn how to clean up after himself. Not the asshole. His throw up, his cleanup. What he's doing is emotional abuse. Simple as that. He doesn't care about grossing you out. The person he is supposed to love and want to impress and cherish. A good person would be apologizing for their behavior. Because it's embarrassing to 1. Have your partner witness that level of inebriation and 2. Vomit in the sink as a grown adult and 3. Double down on refusing to clean it up. Not the asshole. And who earns more? How household chores are split has nothing to do with cleaning alcohol puke out of the sink. The puker cleans it, period. You did all the work for his get-together? Then he gets so drunk he vomits. Would I be the asshole if I told my mom that she is the reason that she doesn't have a relationship with my kids? Long story short, over the past 13 years my mom has either consciously or unconsciously made decisions in her life that have created obstacles to seeing her grandkids. Examples: moving to a different country and only giving me a week notice, and again moving to a state on the other side of the country when a neighboring state was on her short list of places to move to. I can count on one hand the amount of times she has been to visit my kids. One of the times she came to help with the kids, I went to take a shower and came out to the living room when I was done, and my kids 4.5 and 1.5 at the time were there by themselves with the front door wide open. Went to find my mom and she said she needed a break. So she went to the guest room and played solitaire on her iPad with her hearing aid turned off. That was the last time she was left alone with them. There have also been several times when she has not only been in my state visiting friends, but also been less than an hour drive away and still couldn't squeeze in a half hour on her way to the airport to see us. We talk on a fairly regular basis, but she never asks to talk to the kids. She constantly forgets their birthdays. Here's the kicker. Recently a family member got married. I got us an Airbnb to stay in, and I think I saw her for about 3 hours in that house total. The wedding had open seating ceremony and reception, and she actively chose not to sit with us. She is now complaining about not having a relationship with her grandkids. She keeps bringing it up and I bite my tongue every time because I know it would be a huge argument. But I don't think I can take much more. Not the asshole. Why is she surprised? Your children don't know her. She's made no effort to be part of their lives and is basically a stranger to them. She even put them in a dangerous situation. She has no one to blame but herself for not having a relationship with her grandchildren. She's done everything to avoid them since the day they were born. Mom, I'm sad you don't have a better relationship too. You know the only way to build a relationship is to spend time with them. Not the asshole. Quit biting your tongue and have a discussion with her. Tell her your views and listen to her answers. Get her side of the situation and come up with some solutions to foster a better relationship before more resentment is built up on both sides. And never leave her alone with the children. She is now complaining about not having a relationship with her grandkids. She keeps bringing it up and I bite my tongue every time because I know it would be a huge argument. But I don't think I can take much more. X200B. Not the asshole. Ever heard the farce "the truth will set you free"? You need to be honest with your mom. Sounds like she wants a postcard relationship with her grandkids, without actually spending time with them. Not the asshole. I have a grandparent that didn't make effort. And I have one that did. Guess which one I make an effort for now as an adult? If she wants a relationship with them, she needs to make an effort. Not the asshole. It's so weird when grandparents demand the kids to maintain the relationship while they are constantly Mia. Sometimes things need to be said, because she sounds permanently checked into delusion land on the subject.
Am I the asshole? For refusing to give a reward for my son even though my daughter got one. I know why he isn't doing well, he has admitted to not studying. This is bothering me, so I am going to post it here. We have a reward system. If you get all A's you get to go out and have dinner at a place of your choosing or get cash. Personally we do it every 2 months since the report cards for the young come out. I have 3 kids in total. Youngest got a report card, so I checked the grades for the 2 kids in high school. My oldest has all A's so she can pick where she wants dinner, or $30 so she can go out with 2 friends. My son didn't, it was B's and a C. So no reward and me asking if he needs help in math. This caused a huge argument with him, me giving my daughter a reward but not him. My ex is now involved, saying he should get a reward since his classes are harder. That doesn't really fly though, since my daughter is taking some college classes and he is a freshman taking the honor classes. Following the rules fairly does not by itself an R make, no. But there is an argument to be had that this system in itself might be bad and unfair. You're the asshole. What's your end game here? For perfection in academia? Or to inadvertently feed into this competition while stirring up resentment? Remember, grades don't give you the full story on someone's aptitude, efforts and circumstances. Not the asshole. After reading your comments, it seems like your son is just a naturally bright kid who is the wall of what he can coast on. It's tough but better now than in college. Just keep encouraging good study habits, maybe offer to try out some different ones with him. If you want to offer him an incentive to improve, that wouldn't be the worst thing, but don't give him a reward for not studying and still managing to get B's. You're the arsehole. Reward system is fine if done as a tier system. My grandma gave me $5 for every A, $3 for B, nothing for C and minus money if I got D's or F's. So everyone gets a little something. Not to mention, you don't know if your son has dyslexia or a learning disorder, so you could be punishing him for something he can't even help. Lol. What exactly does he think that he should be rewarded for? Not the asshole. If he wants the reward, he should get better grades and meet the criteria. Info. Maybe you're the asshole, depending on a few things. Has the eldest always been getting A's, or did you see an improvement when you started the system? Similarly, did your son used to get worse grades? Maybe the reward should be an improvement, and maintaining that level, rather than just A's. If I was a child who was struggling to improve their grades, after all, some kids are just smarter, find school easier, etc., I'd be frustrated if the only reward was for A's when I feel like I literally can't get A's, when my sibling finds it easy. Not the asshole. Rewards for achieving top marks isn't an asshole thing. Not giving someone something because they didn't meet the achieved goal also isn't an asshole move. Not the asshole. This seems a perfectly straightforward and fair system. X can keep her nose out. To a bit, but not for your question. The system you've set up is the problem. Grades shouldn't be rewarded like that. The kids that get A's may or may not be working as hard as the kids who get C's, and for the lower grade kid, seeing that effort go unrecognized is incredibly demoralizing. You're the asshole. Not all kids can get A's. Doesn't mean they are not trying hard to get good grades. Both my kids work hard. One is always straight A's, one isn't, but they both work to the best of their abilities, just one finds it easy, one doesn't. I'm obviously very proud of my kid who gets the A's. I'm also very proud of the one who doesn't, as I know the effort he puts in but finds it. More attention to your kids and stop playing them off against each other. Not the asshole. The system is simple and well known in advance. Kid is just grouchy that they didn't get a fancy dinner even though they didn't earn one per the rules. You even inquired if extra assistance is needed. Don't give in. I think you're Natar. He clearly was able to maintain as before, as him not studying is the issue. I read a couple of the YTs that paint your reward system as some sort of deliberate punishment, but for him to be this upset, this was probably the first time he missed out. I would think of this as being constructive criticism rather than a punishment. Maybe he needs to make some more time for studying, or he can get a job and get his own pocket money. Not the asshole. I don't understand the other judgments. Guessed everyone missed the he admitted he doesn't study part. Why should we reward no effort? That breeds entitlement. $30. Ha 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 ha. His grades are still really good, he's taking honors classes. You should have rankings of rewards. As gets this, B's get this slightly not as cool thing. You're only causing resentment and loss of motivation. Not the asshole. The rules were well established and by time they're in HS they should know what your expectations are. Mild. You're the asshole. Look, I get this system is popular with parents, but there are a lot of reasons why it might be unfair. Different academic ability, classes, etc. I found school easy and got straight A's without much effort. I had a sibling who worked way harder than me, but this wasn't always reflected in their grades. Ideally you would set up a system that rewards effort improvement over specific grades. If the rewards end up creating resentment, instead look at improvement in grades or consistency of effort that can be rewarded. Your daughter may be smart academically whereas your other children may be gifted in sports or music. Maybe you need to think the reward system over. Really, if your daughter is smart, she will be rewarded with a scholarship. You rewarding her for it will make your son feel less. He won't try, because he doesn't feel smart enough. Then when she gets scholarships, he will deem her the golden child and never expect much from himself. Help him instead of antagonizing him. Without more info I have to go with you're the asshole. The attitude that every kid can just get an A in every subject if they just try hard enough is just not true. It completely discounts so many things. It's ridiculous and shows you know very little about education. Some kids excel in specific areas and struggle greatly in others. Just try harder or not trying hard enough is not always the answer and is about as smart as telling a kid with asthma, well, if you just try harder you'll be able to breathe better. You're the asshole for rewarding A's. You should be rewarding the effort put in. People are different. Person 1 can get straight A's without any effort. Person 2 can work his ass off and only get B's or C's. If your daughter worked her ass off for her A's, she deserves her rewards. If your son also worked hard, he also deserves the reward. Look at what they put in, don't judge on the result. Not the asshole. Stick to your guns. My parents did the same thing with my sister and I way back. He did not meet the requirements, so no dinner or dollars. Punish him until he studies. Beatings will continue until morale improves. Maybe he doesn't actually know how to study or has something like anxiety about not being as special as his sister, keeping him from focus. He doesn't study doesn't define what's happening, you know. It's an observation on your part with no underlying understanding of why. If your reward system doesn't account for level of difficulty, you are inadvertently telling your son to take less challenging courses that will help him in the future for a reward today. 30 for A's, 20 for B's, 10 for C's, nothing for D's. Incentive system opposed to reward. You're the asshole for having such a reward system. I can't imagine the tension that creates in your household. He still did a lot better than a lot of people. Perhaps a smaller reward instead of nothing? Just because he didn't achieve a perfect score does not mean he didn't achieve. And you just taught him that those achievements meant nothing to you. My dad constantly demeaned any achievement of mine and I spent a long time depressed and basically gave up trying. Eventually I found my own way. As others have said, you're not the asshole for following the rules you set. You're the asshole for the rules you set. In my opinion. My parents had a similar system, except it was based on how both me and my brother did individually at school. For example, I was always better at studying and focus, so I got a reward for A's and B's. My brother had lots of trouble focusing and studying, so he got a reward for B's and C's. It motivated us to stay focused and try our best, but it didn't put us in competition with each other or make either of us feel bad. Just BC, I was naturally able to focus better. Just something I think you should consider.